Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Office Hours. Aaron has joined me. Hey, Aaron. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Matthew?
I'm good, thank you, man. How are you? All good?
Good, good. Yeah, I just have a quick question. I'm working on this ticketing app I built, and it's an internal tool we're going to use where I work at. And so I have this workflow set up where and, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, sorry.
Can you hear me okay? Testing.
Sorry, it's somehow I got. Okay, sorry. The YouTube thing popped up twice, so I was getting two videos of our conversation going for whatever reason.
No worries.
Okay, so no, I'm building this ticketing app for it's a tool we're going to use where I work at. And so I have a workflow set up to where I can invite users, and so they get like an email notification to sign up. Because my idea was I didn't want the sign up to be public because I only want uh, the employees to be able to have access to the sign up page.
Yeah.
So is there a way to, I don't know, kind of have a workflow where the where WeWeb can look at the URL with the token attached to the sign up, and then that way they can only if they're clicking. I wonder if it's just easier if I show you my project.
Yeah. No, I was about to let you finish and then say, would you mind sharing your screen?
Yeah, sorry. Let me just do that. It'll be a whole lot easier. Okay. Is it showing?
Yes.
Okay. So the way it works is, let me see. So I have this user management page. I invite a user. I fill out the email, and then they get a email. So so like this is what it looks like when it comes through in the email, and then you click it, and it takes them to the sign up page.
And is there just a token as a query in that link?
Yeah, so I'm using yeah, sorry, let me share the. I'm using Xano as the backend with resend for the um, emails and stuff.
Yeah.
So they end up landing on this page. Oh no, it's not showing it anymore. Of course. Oh no,
What?
it's still trying to bounce the sign to the sign in. I was having issues where I kind of had it working, and it was still sending the user to the sign in page even though they had a ticket. So let me just republish it because I forgot I removed it.
But you
Sorry.
will no worries. The easiest way to up to this point to test this, have you been republishing every time and then trying it in the live site?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It will be way easier if we can set this up so you can test it in the editor. I imagine that will be
Oh,
way
that'd be
easier.
even. Yeah, that'd be. I didn't know how to make that work because the email. I mean the invite is in the email, so I didn't know how to make it work with that.
Yeah. So do you
Okay.
want to do that now? Does it make sense to do that now?
Yeah. No. Let's do that now. Let me go back to the. Okay.
So the first thing you probably want to do in this case is in Xano. I don't know how you're sending that email, but I guess there's some kind of endpoint that does it or something.
Mm-hmm.
In that endpoint where you define the URL to be the link in that email, you'll
Mm-hmm.
actually, for now, it's probably best to, you know, the way in Xano you can clone actions. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If yeah, so if when you're doing it with just to check, it's an API request you're making to resend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
So if
trying
you
to log
just
into my Xano now.
no worries. Oh, actually, I'll wait until you're done. I don't want to throw a bunch of stuff at your way of logging in.
Oh. So let me just share that real quick.
Yes. Cool. So what you can do here is, I guess at the very bottom, you're making that API request. Send email. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize Xano had this native resend action. Okay, that's cool. What you can do with this then,
Yeah,
so
they
if you
just,
right click it, sorry, go on.
no, I was gonna say they have some integration now with resend. So
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize this was here, but that's handy. So yeah, if you clone it now, and then if you disable the top one, or I mean, disable either of them, it doesn't really matter. And then for this one that isn't disabled, we can use this as kind of the testing one. And when we want to test it, we can just enable and disable it. So for the, where are you defining the link actually? I might have done this in the wrong place. So that.
Take it right
Okay,
here.
my bad. Actually, instead, what we'll do, sorry, delete that.
You're good.
Delete that send email we did, yeah, and then we'll do that instead for this variable creation, yeah. And so what you want to do here is you actually want to, if you go into the WeWeb editor and pull the URL of whatever the, it's wherever you want to take them. So whatever page that is in WeWeb, you can just literally take that URL and stick it in here. But obviously, I guess with a token at the end. I'm not sure if you're doing that here.
So grab the URL in the editor for the sign up page, and then
put it in the first part. I guess you want to still keep the token, right? It would just be the first. Yeah. Cool. And you need the speech marks at the start. I think you accidentally deleted it. There we go. I know it's still the staging one.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Update that. Publish.
And so before we do this, we can set up the stuff that we need in WeWeb to make sure we can test it correctly. So if you switch back over to WeWeb for me.
Okay.
And one of the cool things you can do in WeWeb you may not know about is you can pull in the token values dynamically. So if you open up the data panel on the left-hand side and you create a new variable, in the type of the variable, there's the type query. And so basically what that means is if you create a query variable, depending on what you name this variable, it will look for a case match of any queries that exist in the URL. So for example, if you create a query variable here and you call it token, so it's an exact case match to that, so it will then pull whatever's, if that exists in the URL, it will pull the value into this variable and you can use it in the editor.
Okay, yeah, no, see, I was looking for something like that because the issue I kept running into was I couldn't pull the token dynamically because it had no way of reading it. So I was kind of going back and forth with trying to make it work. Wow. Yeah, I never even noticed the query part.
And so now, I don't know, have you already got logic set up for this? The reason I say that is if we try that, if we try the Xano thing we just set up, is it just going to use it? Is it basically going to work is what I'm thinking? Like if you
like without it?
Yeah.
Without the logic?
Will it mess anything up if we try it? If we send that Xano email and click the link and see what happens?
Let's just try it without it because I removed the logic because I was going to start fresh.
Cool.
Let me just try this real quick. So here, we're just going to say, okay, so let me check my email. So when I clicked on the link, me see, where is this? It just takes me to a blank page.
Let's see. That's not good. And what's the URL?
The editor, the WeWeb editor.
Yeah, it's yeah, I guess because I can't see, I can only see the page. I can't see like your browser tab or anything. So what's the? I can't see the URL that it's taking you to.
You see, it says editor.weweb.io / 8B834. That long.
Yeah. Did you put? I can't remember. Did you put /sign up at the end of the WeWeb editor URL?
Let me check. I did not.
Okay, so it's
no.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. You don't want that because in the editor it's like a UUID. So just to check,
that's right. Yeah.
I can't see the URL, so I'm trying to think of it at the top of my head. Do you see like editor WeWeb / UUID then / another UUID?
Yeah, I think that's what this is. Is there a way I can? I was gonna see if there's a way I can throw the URL in the chat.
Yeah, no, there's a when you're in the lobby, there's a private chat. I mean, it's not like anyone can access it, but if you'd rather put in the private chat. Cool, thank you. Let me just check this on my side. I think it's. I think you might have one extra. Let me just check before I confirm this, but I have a hunch that you might have one extra UUID at the end, and I don't know how it got there.
Oh.
Maybe we can just try check it again in like copy it from the editor again, because it usually goes like the first UUID is your project, and then the second one is the page. Yeah, give me 1 second.
I just copied it again.
Yeah, and just to check, you see two UUIDs, and I'm saying UUID a bunch of times, but it's like, so you see editor / some UUID, then / another UUID, right? Because yeah, definitely the one you sent me has 3. When it should only have 2.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. So let me try. Let me try this again. Okay, so sign up page. This is the link I want. Go back to Xano. Okay, so I just published that in Xano. Huh.
Is it still the same thing?
Yeah.
That's very weird. Okay. I do want to get this working because it will be such a pain if you can't test this in the editor and you have to republish every time. Give me one. Do you mind if I go into your project to check things out on my side?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
No, go ahead. Yeah. Here, let me give you the login as soon as I remember what it was. Sure, give me 1 second.
No. I don't need your login. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because yeah, whenever I try and load this URL on my side, I get the same thing, which is very weird. Give me 1 sec. Okay, yeah, I don't know how you, okay, I'm in it now. I don't know how you were getting that last UUID because on my side, there's only 2. So I'll put this, I'll put the link I have in the private chat here and you can try this one. Try that one and then hopefully it should work.
No.
Really?
It's
What's
still, yeah, it's
okay, let's try this manually then. Could you just, that URL you have open right now, could you get rid of the last set of UUIDs?
Yeah.
So there's only 2 sets? Because then at least we can show you how the debugging would work in the editor.
It's weird. Okay, so now it's brought me back to the sign up page in the editor.
Cool. Okay, so I think that's, at least we're on that page and you have the token in the URL, right?
No. Well, actually, let me double
No?
check. It doesn't look like it, but
Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me test something on my side because we can really show you how this. Give me just 1 second.
you're good.
Okay, there we go. So I'll send you this link in the private chat again. If this one still doesn't open for you in the sign up page, I honestly am at a loss for words because when I open this on my side, it opens a sign up page. So fingers crossed this should open the sign up page and then you can at least see how this works in principle.
Or throw this one in Xano?
No, just open this one up in your browser.
Okay, yeah, that one open with the token equals.
Cool. And then so if you open up see the bug icon on the left side? On the left panel, just to the right of the data tab, there's like this bug icon.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Aaron. I just realized you're sharing. I think you're sharing twice. Could you share the one you're currently on?
Let me just close some of these. Okay.
Cool. There we go. And then if you open up the variables tab in this menu, just at the very top, and then if you search for token, there you see
Oh.
it's got the value ABC. It's the one beneath it with the query. So because there's a query parameter in the URL, there's a case match for what it's called. So token, it pulls it in dynamically. And so now,
Gotcha.
depending on how you want to use it on the page, if you were to click, like, see the sign up header you have on the page, if you just click that, we can use it as an example, or like click any element on the page. It doesn't really matter. And then if you bind something on the right hand side, again, it doesn't really matter. I just want to show you as an example. In the panel on the right hand side, if you click the plug icon on the very right side, if you now was to look for token, exactly, yeah. So you have that value ABC, and you can use it wherever you want in the editor.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, cool. So really I just need to go back and apply my old workflow, but this time I should be able to get the token. Okay.
Yeah. And
Cool.
I think for the issue you were having, my only hunch is that there might be something in Xano, in that logic, where you construct the URL that's somehow adding something to the end. But because I think that's that's my only hunch on what was happening there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll take a look at that. That makes it a whole lot easier knowing there's a query for the token. Sweet. Awesome. Appreciate you, Matt.
No worries. Glad I could help. Apologies we couldn't.
No, you're good. You're good.
Once we got a manual one working, it was pretty quick, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a whole lot easier, or I understand it more now, so appreciate that.
Cool. No worries. Right. Cheers, Aaron.
All right. Yeah, how we going?
Prolette has joined me. Give me 1 second, Prolette. Hey, Prolette, are you there? I think Prolette is away. Feel free to pop a message in the chat when you are ready, Prolette. No worries. Sure thing, yeah. Shall I bring you in? Cool. Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I am good. Let's see. I'll go on camera, even though I'm not quite camera ready. So I have quick question. So I'm starting. I realized that in my application, I would really like to have like a action center functionality where it will be kind of like a notification location but with a little bit more functionality. So for example, things like oh, if there is misdistributions, you can go and like you can see the notification the distributions have been missed, but you can also at the same time record a corresponding distribution. You can go and see like anniversary dates that are coming up. So there are some things that have actions where you can add additional information, and some things are just like more like, hey, like FYI, just so you know. But I realize just having one place where you can just see all of that will be easier than trying to go all over the app. So I wasn't sure if there is anything new that has come up that will allow me to kind of display some of that a little bit easier. I think I was entertaining the idea first of just using the new data grid, but I wasn't sure if that
Yeah.
is like really
Yeah,
getting there. Or...
I think so. I mean, from the sounds of it, I think the data grid would be a good place to start. The heavy lifting of this, I think, would be in Xano pretty much. Like notifications aren't an easy thing, and especially when some of them require actions, some of them don't. Those actions, I guess, need to potentially even interact with different records and stuff. The heavy lifting would be in Xano, but for the WeWeb side, from the sounds of it, yeah, I think the data grid is probably the most simple thing out of the box that could handle that sheer amount of notifications. Because I guess in the long run, it'd be thousands of them.
Yeah, the only thing that I was not sure about the data grid is because it's not really uh, um, mobile friendly, because I can't really wrap things easily with it. So if you're on a mobile, then it's not as flexible as just creating like a very basically a repeated list and making sure that that kind of like wraps nicely. That was my only hesitation, and I wasn't sure if I was missing something on the data grid, or it's just basically it is you need to like scroll to the side.
Yeah. You mean like the whole table won't wrap or just a single cell won't wrap?
I think the whole table, because if I have something that has structured multiple columns, that's where it kind of gets more iffy, because with a repeated list, I can kind of wrap all of the things. So now it's like maybe you have kind of like the item you're actioning on and all the actions go on the bottom, versus with a data grid, everything kind of still stays the same.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I was not understanding it and there was something fancy on the data grid, or basically is as designed and I need to do like a custom display in order to wrap a little bit more
Yeah.
flexibly.
No, you understood it correctly. It's kind of like one of the pros and cons of the data grid, where it has virtual scrolling. So that's why it's so performative, is the stuff at the bottom, you'll only ever see once it comes into view. But for virtual scrolling to work, it usually needs to know very precisely what the expected height of each row would be. So when they start to wrap, the height then becomes unpredictable. So that's why it doesn't wrap. It's kind of like the pro and con of it. So yeah, it's tough to say for definite without kind of seeing the design you have in mind, because maybe it would be very quick to spin up something manual. The data grid's good out of the box if you need like a bunch of columns, but if you only need like 3 or 4, then maybe doing it manually wouldn't be that big of an uplift. The only thing I would say is that like it's a pain in the backside sometimes to have to set up everything around it. So like setting up the pagination, if there's going to be like hundreds of items, maybe you then need to manually set up infinite scrolling so it's more performative. it would be pretty straightforward to set up like that first row. It's just the stuff around it usually takes the longest.
Yeah, I know. I don't. The whole pagination gets a little bit more complicated. So
yeah, and
Yeah.
plus filters as well. Like data grid, it handles all of the filters and sorting out of the box, and setting. If you want to filter and sort, setting that up then to also filter and sort Xano again it's not the most straightforward thing in the world. So it's
yeah, I had already implemented something before that was wrapping, so I was gonna try and basically reuse that because it just having to scroll sideways is not really user friendly, I guess. Okay, so yeah, I was on missing something, anything that. Okay. Yeah, that was gonna be my next thing.
It won't be a small thing. Like it will be notifications in that sense of it will take a lot of thought in terms of like how each type of notification needs to be categorized so you can show it in a certain way on the front end. Then if someone presses like the CTA, how do you then know what thing to open up so that they can interact with that data type? Like, yeah, it will be a tough one.
I know. Thanks.
I know. I guess that's one for the Xano guys.
Yeah. Well, on the back end, I think it's okay. I figured a lot of the back end, although that also kind of took longer than I expected. Because yes, initially I was like, oh, notifications, and then as I started thinking through it, it's a lot more involved than just it's notifications. So okay. I have one more question. I saw that you guys also included like out of box. What is it called? OTP kind of input. I'm guessing still that doesn't really. Still, all of that needs to be integrated first on the back end in order to enable that.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. It's just an input. What you then do with what someone types in is up to you.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna take a look at trying to do it through Xano. I was looking at integrating it with Twilio or whatever, and it's for my free offering. I don't want to pay.
Yeah, it's the integrations of all this stuff are honestly like the hardest part of it all, because it's like the notifications. It's like, oh yeah, OTP input, and then you dive deep into it, and figuring out all the integrations around it isn't straightforward. But Twilio is the main one I've heard of for SMS sending.
Yeah, I was gonna give up on SMS and just do email because I didn't want to pay.
Email works. It will get the job done.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something, like some magic thing that's going in.
No, although I keep saying it every week, but give it a month and we should have our own integration. So it would be way easier, but I know you love Xano, so maybe there's some like middle ground, but we shall see.
Yeah. Well, somebody said that I can try and use AI for the notification. I already used Claude Code for actually building some of the functionality, but I would definitely say it did a pretty good job, although I had to go and correct it a lot, because after I reviewed the kind of like what it did as its logic, I mean, good intention, but way too complicated. I think it errs on the side of being complex than something when it can actually be pretty simple. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, the Xano script stuff is honestly amazing. It works really well. I've found if you have some endpoints, it can take those as examples. So like if you have an endpoint to edit something and you just want it to create a bunch of those, it can then use your kind of source of truth one as a reference, and it does amazing. But yeah.
No, it's great. I love the ability to copy and paste.
It's very cool.
So, or like if I'm just going and trying to edit something, even just ability to reference different table by just copying and pasting is much easier than trying to go through and like reset it up in the UI. Okay, those were my questions.
Cool. Okay.
Maybe Aaron Townsend. I don't know if he's with you guys or somebody. They might have questions.
No, I think Aaron was on here earlier. But if you guys have any more questions, then feel free to pop back in.
No, that's it for now. I'm gonna work on it some more this week, so maybe next week I'll have questions.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Super. Glad to hear it, Aaron. Did you manage to get it working in the editor, by the way, or did you just go about like republishing it and doing it that way? Nice. Yeah, it'll make your life a ton easier. Just make sure you always remember to disable the editor version in Xano and then set the other one live again. Like if you really want to do it properly, you can, depending on the headers that get passed to Xano, you can figure out where it was called from. So then you know if it was called from the editor or if it was called from the live site. And so you can dynamically decide what the magic link should be based on the origin of the request. But if you don't want to add that hassle to your life, then you just can manually enable and disable them as you need. But just remember to manually re-enable and disable them as you need to, because I made the mistake before of forgetting that, and then yeah, someone gets a WeWeb editor magic link, and that's never good. Pretty much, Sean, yeah. Either auto or use a percentage width and height, because then it will still be responsive. So like if you have a container that's 1,000 pixels wide and an inner container, and you set that inner container's width to 50%, because its outer container, its parent container is 100 pixels wide, then it's 50%, so it'll take up 50% of that, which is 500 pixels. And so as that outer container changes, because it's a percentage, it will always adapt. So yeah, either auto or use percentage values for the width and height to make it responsive. Yeah, sounds good, Aaron. Congratulations on getting that working. The magic links are not a straightforward thing. So well done. By the way, Sean, I realized I said auto or percentage, but you could also use VW or VH. So if you set something, if you set an element's width to be 100 VH, you're saying, now I say that actually, let me check before because it basically means it will take up the full screen width if you set it to 100 VH. But sorry, VW is in width. But now I say that, I don't know what the VW stands for. I'm almost certain the last one stands for width, but I don't know what the V stands for. Let me ask my good friend, ChatGPT. Virtual, I think, maybe. ChatGPT has just told me it stands for Volkswagen, because VW, it's definitely not Volkswagen. Viewport, of course, is viewport. Yeah. Viewport height and viewport width. Yeah, exactly. Because then it will be dynamic to the screen width and height. Nice, you got your charts working. And Zoom, nice. What did you use for it, Sean? Did you end up using like Cursor or Claude Code to create a custom coded component, or how did you do it in the end? Nice. Yeah. A few people I've heard of people are doing that where, because unfortunately right now you can't use our in-editor custom component editor. That's a mouthful. You can't use our in-editor custom component editor unless you first create it with AI. So yeah, I've heard some people doing that where they'll first set it up with AI and then kind of do this copy and paste job to ChatGPT to finish it off. But nonetheless, happy to hear it's working. Cool, right, that is us at the hour. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. We're here every Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Central European time. Flo hasn't been with me for a while. He's just been super busy with back-end stuff. But I'm hoping he can join me one of these weeks to give a preview of it all before we end up launching it. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I shall see you next week.